Toby from Heavyweight MMA. Today with professional MMA fighter Alan Philpott. How are you, man?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Man, you're a hard man to catch, but I finally got you.
Oh, mate. I swear I'm so unorganised at times, mate. So I had to set my alarm today for 10 minutes before we scheduled just to make sure that I didn't forget.
Yeah, man. How is your life? Is the life a bit chaotic, bro, or you have some sort of like real structure to it, or what? Out of interest.
Like I mean, like it's chaotic, but it's like structured chaotic, if that makes sense. So like, no, I'm just all day Miller doing my PTs, walking a dog at the beach, or training myself. So like, it's pretty much the same stuff every day, and different times, of course. But you know, I've had to start writing things down and set reminders and stuff, just because like I'll forget.
Yeah, bro. Hey, this is the first question I had, bro. You're in Australia, obviously not from Australia. How does it feel being an Englishman in Australia?
I'm actually from Northern Ireland, bro.
I know, bro. I'm just giving you some shit.
To be fair, so where I'm from, we don't get as offended with that, but it's more down south to get offended. I mean, no one really wants to be an Englishman as such, like, but no, you can call me Irish, Northern Irish, both of them. I don't mind.
Fair enough, bro. Now, I got a good Irish mate. Shout out to Kieran Carruthers. He loves it when I call him an Englishman, so I just thought I'd carry it on.
Yeah, some of them are very patriotic and like, no, they get it.
And anyway, bro, how is it like? You've been in Australia a long time, right? And you've been fighting over there for a long time. Obviously, you've made it your home. What is it about Australia that kind of drew you away from being in Ireland?
I was actually, I came here to fight in a promotion called ACB. They were the third biggest promotion in the world at the time. It was UFC, Bellator, then ACB. It was a Russian organisation, and they brought me over here to fight. I actually fought a Russian in the Gold Coast. And then me and I was training with Dean Garnett, Aaron Robinson, and all the boys at Aspire and Liverpool. So they came over with me. So we were like, fuck, we're over here at Christmas. Dean had family here. And we were like, let's do this just why we're here, right? Because the flights and all were covered. So we were like, well, we might as well just extend it and then stay there. No, it's an opportunity to get to see Australia. We're going to be here for 6 weeks. And then I just loved it, bro. I just loved like the culture, the weather, how different it was. And I just decided to stay. I was like, fuck,
bro, what are the main differences, bro? Like being over there, like the weather, it's sort of more like grey and cloudy and that sort of thing, is it, or what?
Yeah, bro, the weather's shit back home. Like, it's really bad. Also, no, it's just a very negative vibe. I'm from a small town. There's not much happening there. There's a lot of drug abuse, suicide, and there used to be factories and stuff for jobs, but they've all shut down, and it's getting worse and worse. It just basically feels like back home, it's just like people's just surviving. They're just getting by, and I want it more in life than that. That's not for me. Over here you've got the weather, the opportunities and stuff that rise over here. Like, it's just a completely different world, and it's just a lot better in general. The people seem to be a lot nicer, and it's just like I say, it's just an all round better place. Like, I feel more at peace here than I did at home.
That's good, man. Do you ever go back there, man, to check it out, or not? Or I haven't had a time.
I've been twice in the 5.5 years I've been here. First time I went after 6 months, but I wasn't ready. I had my cousin and my mate's wedding and stuff. So it was like, it was good to get back, but I just couldn't wait to go out of there because nothing had changed. And then the second time I went was last July, which was 4.5 years I've been here. And then I went, and it was a massive change, a massive shock. It's just, the place has got a lot worse, to be honest. My mates and stuff, it was great to see them. A lot of them settled down and got kids. My family, and some of them are older now, they've kids, and even the ones that were younger, they've grown up. And that was all great. My little sister's there, she's grown up, and she's been through a lot the last few years operation-wise and that. So that was all good. Like, I love that side, seeing everybody, but the place in general, like, nothing's changed. It's like I say, when you're over here, going back to that, it's a big awakening. Like,
how does it compare in terms of like safety and violence and that sort of stuff?
To be honest with you, like it's not as bad as it used to be. Like, it's like the bombings and the shootings and stuff, they're not anywhere near as what they used to be. But I wouldn't say it'd be anywhere worse than. Every country has a place like that. Like, everywhere has their bad areas and the good areas. If some like South America and stuff, I'd say it's probably a lot more intense. We're back home, like it's more like your cars will get burned and your windows will get done. Like they're all pussies. I mean, they all do cowardly stuff, rather than do stuff to each other. Like that's what it's more about now. Like, and the religion side of things is nowhere near as bad. Everyone's realised that there's more to life than fighting over a religion, and it's more like a drug war now, to be honest. To say who's got the most power and who's got the most money and flashiest clothes and watches and cars or whatever.
Man, it's kind of similar in a way to Sydney. They got a lot of the music and that sort of following that culture as well.
Yeah,
right?
the out west ways would be more like back home. But even at that, bro, I don't think out west is. Obviously, I don't know that much, but like there's areas we've been told bad not to go there, and I've been there, and I'm like that's not as bad as back home. Like,
yeah. Bro, so now you're in Australia. You've been training at Igor MMA lately, right? Alongside Josh Culibao, the king of KFC. How's the gym going there?
Yeah, it's going good, bro. It's going really good. I came here after the first COVID and linked up and helped the coaching team and me, Coach Igor and Josh. We had a lot of youngsters and people coming through that wanted to take it to the next stage, but Coach, he couldn't do it all himself. So like that's when me and Josh stepped in and we started like taking them to the competitions and and building them up and working some basic stuff to get them to a level where Coach could take over then. And then obviously Johnny Benavides, our striking coach, like he's now all the fighters would go over there and work doing their striking with him too. So it's good, bro. It's good. The level's growing. The numbers are growing. The fight team's getting busier, and the boys and the girls in the team, they're unbelievable. Like they're right there and they're really showing a real progression and a good level of skill, especially for the experience they've only had.
Man, it must be a big pump to the gym to have someone like Josh getting out there and really performing well. His last fight with Melsik Bagdasarian had me a bit nervous, bro. That guy's a killer, and he took him out. So that was like best outcome for him, eh?
Yeah, no, like Josh is the man. Do you know what I mean? Like, and he's a great humble student as well. He'll do whatever he can to help the team. So he's a great role model for everybody, and they get to show everybody, stay on course, stay online, and that's where it can be. Like me and Josh joke, we're sort of yin and yang because we're total nearly opposite to each other. Like he's the good side and stuff, and I'm the bad side that sort of done the dodgy road. But definitely I don't really get nervous for them until like we're standing there with a bucket ready to walk out. But the challenges that's what we train for. That's what we want. We want the tough challenges, and you can see with every one of our fights that we get offered, like we never have an easy fight. We always take whatever we can get, and that's what we do. We test ourselves, and like I say, Josh is the one leading from the front, so it gives the rest of the team a extra bit of initiative to keep going.
That's it, man. As just while we're on that topic, man, like give us some insight on what it's like. What are his strengths, man? Because we see him on the big screen fighting in UFC, and I sort of take note that he just seems to have that offbeat timing. He seems to catch people with things because he's got a different sense of timing than other people. Would you say that, or other things about him?
Yeah, 100%. But again, that comes from Johnny. Johnny. One of Johnny's things is about breaking the rhythm, changing the rhythm, and changing patterns. That's something that we've been working a lot with Johnny over the last couple of years. So it's really excelled and it suits Josh's game, but he's got a lot more than he's even got to show. He hasn't even got to show his grappling side. Like jumping on the neck, it showed that he's sharp in that, but Josh is as easily a good a grappler as a striker. He's actually used to be a better grappler, even though he was pinging people. He's just never had to go in there and fully show it yet. So I'm pretty excited we get to that stage and he gets to show that side of it too.
Man, when you look at someone that you're training alongside, being competitive with, does that drive you to achieve your goals? Because you've obviously got the goals of becoming, whether it's UFC or ONE FC fighter, trying to get into the big leagues, bro. Like, does that spur you on, man?
It does, but at the same time, bro, it's I've had a bit of a rocky road, and it's there's something at the minute stopping me from bringing the Alan Philpott from the gym into the fight, and I'm on a 4-fight skid against people. They're good, but they're not my level, bro. Like I said, if I could get me from the gym to there, these boys wouldn't be lasting to the end of the fights, and that's the frustrating thing. So because of that, it sort of knocked me for then after that last fight. Like, I was ready to hang up the glove completely and just really focus on the team and stuff. But yeah, like I say, when I'm matching these boys in the gym and I'm doing stuff, there is that little bit of fire. And like, as much as I'm the more experienced and older one than Josh, I'm still picking up a lot of stuff from him as much as he is me too. So we're just about to come back and change a few things, and and see, give it another go, maybe get back down to bantam and try, which it'll be tougher, like, because I've been growing into filler and put all this size, and I finally just started evolving. I feel like I was 2 camps away from filler, and now we're just going to do a full 360 and take all that back off and try and get back down there. And see what happens. Like I say, I've been doing that a long time, and over the last couple of years, I feel like even though the performance, they've been all right, they haven't been great, well, on my behalf. I still feel like I'm a far better fighter and evolving and learning a lot. And Coach Igor, he's been really picking little details with me, and that's what he's always said. Like, it's not been the skills or anything. It's just a little bit like the mental side in there, like lack of concentration, or when I'm in there, I'm rushing things and patience, and that's what we're sort of working on at the minute. So it's kind of excited.
Can you do anything to fix that up? Like, have you seen any sports psychology? Is that something you thought about, or would that help you?
I actually had a couple in the past, different ones, and like every one has definitely helped me. But like it's also like it is expensive, and especially living in Sydney, it's so expensive as it is. And if I want to do fighting, it's hard to have the full-time job, and then if I do too much coaching, like that was one of my problems in the past. I was doing loads of PTs and loads of coaching, and then it was coming to my class or my training, and I just didn't have the same energy to put into myself. And like, I was sacrificing my own career and own time to try and help the others. And it was actually the team, even the young boys in the team, like Brandon and Perry, like they were saying to me, like, no, it's time you like step back and focus on you and stuff. So that was one part of it. And then when I was speaking to the mental coaches and stuff, it was like all about enjoying the moment, not stressing and relaxing. And I feel like I nailed that, because I was getting any fights really calm, maybe too calm at times, but like I was fully there. Like, you know what I mean? It's mid fight, it's like midway when I'm in there. There's like everything. If you watch my fights, like everything's smooth sailing, and then next thing I'll just boom, take a lack of concentration, and then I'll do something silly, I'll rush a submission, or I'll put myself in a position, and then I'll get caught, and it's like fuck. Like, and it's because it's happened a lot of times. I don't know if I program myself there, or if there is something that's blocking me from getting the next stage. Because I fought for a BAMMA world title 3 times. We've been in talks to the UFC in the past, and I've took short notice fights against in Japan and stuff, and like putting my career at risk for no reason. So like I'm making silly decisions. So at the minute, I'm going through, like, I'm not going through, but I'm working with an inner child therapist, more about like in the past and when a childhood, and see if there's stuff there that's blocking me and stopping me from getting there. Because like I say, I'm doing the training. I'm taking all the steps that my coaches are telling me to do. Even like I say, the teammates, when they're telling me to back off, I'm listening to them. When the mind coaches are getting me like focused, controlled, and relaxed, that's all good. I'm ticking them boxes. But again, when I'm in there and there's something just switching me off. So I feel like if I can get hold of that, which I'm pretty confident I can. Like I say, I'm going through the therapist, and when I do get back ready, when I get a date to compete again, I'll get back on a mental coach as well, so I can get both at once, so that I feel like I'm covering every angle. And then, do you know what I mean? Like I'll go again, and if it just keeps happening, then well, maybe it's just a sign that it's not for me, this side of things, and I just need to be on the other side of the cage.
Yeah, man, it's tough, right? You've done. I heard you mention you had 52 fights. Is that right?
Yeah, 17 amateurs, and then the rest were pro.
Yeah. It's a massive amount of experience. So, like they say, it comes down to the mental side. When you get that skill set up and you've been working so long at it, it does. They say 90% mental, right? So, yeah, get that shit underway and get it sorted, and let's hope you can smooth things out and be more successful now.
Well, that's the plan. Like, and I don't know, even though I've been on the bit like before the losing scale the last couple of fights, like I'm coming away from them fights and people are talking about me making the mistake. They're not talking about me getting beat. It's like Alan done this, he was doing this, and then this happened. So it's like I know I'm doing so much right, but it's just that one bit wrong. And then at my level, bro, like can't afford to keep making them mistakes. So no, I'm excited to try and turn the tables here one last chance, give it one last run, and see where we end up. Like,
man, it's a tough game. People like me who are watching the shows. You're seeing the big earners up on the screen, but behind those top dogs of the UFC, etc., there's millions of people or thousands of people, professional martial artists, that are just struggling to make their way, struggling to get to the top. It's not an easy game, right?
Nah, that's been a big part of it too, bro. Like, no, because I only had my mum, and she was done whatever she could for us, like, but like there's still lots of things that we couldn't do. She couldn't send me away to get extra training and stuff, and it is a lot harder, like, to stay focused on that when you're going through so much financial struggles too. It's just like, is it worth it? Like, when you've girlfriends and stuff and you can't even go for something to eat, or you can't take them places or do something, like, you do feel that pressure, like, like, and anybody says it doesn't, well, like, that's good on them, because like I do, I'm a person, like I say, I like to do a lot for other people, more so than myself, and that's probably part of the problem too. But no, I feel like now where I'm at, like, that's like, I've got myself financially in not in a mad position, but like I can get by now, where it can give me time I'm doing enough to make a living and keep my head above water, feed me and the dog, but also have a lot of time to really knuckle down and train, and that's another positive, I guess.
Man, you sacrifice a lot, right, for the life of a warrior. You on one hand you get that glory, you get the feeling of achieving something and all that, but then on the other hand, you kind of need money to survive in the world, right? So that's where,
especially in Sydney, bro. Fuck me, it's expensive, man, over here.
I listened to one of your podcasts and mentioned that for a little while you're living in your car for a while, and you're also mentioning about your like sacrificing relationships, not getting too involved because people expect things, and if you are with a girl, you have to take them places and spend money and all that. Whereas when you're focused on training and that, they don't really work together, right? These things.
Yeah, that's it. Unless you get, they don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's girls out there that know. I mean, there is. I know teammates and stuff, they're good girlfriends, they're very supportive, and like, and I've had, to be fair, like, any girlfriend they have been pretty supportive and stuff. It's just like I say, they having them difficulties and stuff, and not understanding like what it takes to be an athlete, is especially at the lower, like, as much as I'm at the higher level of the outside the ranks, I'm still at the lower of the pile the other way. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're getting paid buttons. You know what I mean? Half the times the money of the fight is just to pay back like the money you lent just to get to the fight. Do you know what I mean? And then that's only covers some of it. But I try not to think about the money side of it too, because it does take the love away from it. And like I say, I'm doing enough to where I can be comfortable outside, where, like, yeah, the money's a bonus now. You know what I mean? I can get through them camps without struggling too much. Like, and that's where we're at now. And I'm not really set on like finding someone, but if it happens, it happens. Like, and I know now, like, before I'm older now too. I'm 30. You know what I mean? I'm coming into the mature years. Like, and
you say 30. You're 30, did you say?
Yeah, I'm starting to get mature a little bit.
But
maybe outside the gym, in the gym, I'm still a clown. Like, but I'm ready to sort of fucking like settle down a wee bit. And I feel like a big shift's changing in me too. And I don't know if it's because of losing or because of the losses. And I really just want to change the lifestyle and focus on building these next few years through the fighting and really give it my all. Like, I keep thinking I have all the years, and then every time after the fight, and then I start thinking what else I could do, and then the next camp I'll do a bit more. I'm like, fuck, why did I not do that next time? And again, that's the beauty of losing as well, is that you keep finding how you can improve. But when it happens a bit more than you like, or it's happening more than it should be, or if it's happening the way it shouldn't be, and then you start questioning things,
Bro, just on the money topic you mentioned, what's kind of like the bottom and the top of pro fighting in Australia now, like the entry level pro to the top of Australia level pro, not talking about like UFC or ONE FC or anything? What would be the sort of range people would get paid per fight?
Well, it depends. It genuinely depends. It depends, like, again, on ticket sales, depends on who you are, and if you've got management who can talk better for you and stuff. Because promoters will get, like, if they can pay you $200, they would. Do you know what I mean? But mostly, you start around a couple of grand, depending on how much fights you have too. Like, something might probably starting around, say, between 2 to like 2 to 3 grand on a local show. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's not like that's nothing really on the promotions too, because they are local promoters. They're not making the same revenues like all these big shows and stuff. And we have to understand that as fighters as well. And sometimes you think, oh, but look at the ticket sales and that, and then there's a lot of outgoings and but then there's some promoters that would try and pull the wool over your eyes and they try and get everything out of you, like.
Man, and then you talk about the like bigger promotions. You were on the One Warrior series, bro. Does it feel like you're holding on to that, frustrated that you didn't quite get over there, man? Like you were close, you had a couple of wins, right? And then
Bro,
you
it was
lost the last
one fight off. That last fight, they had the contract basically set in because so every time before, like, so every episode of the One Warrior series, they always released a video of the fighter's best parts. And that last one, I was the fighter that was my best parts of it, and I had 2 great wins where I only needed to get that one win and I'd have been in there. But then the contract, it wasn't what it made out to be, and then the whole COVID situation and stuff, they shut me up in Australia. I couldn't even if I wanted to, I couldn't have left anyway because of the visa situation. So I actually turned out better because I had been signed. They'd have still had full control over me, and I couldn't have done anything about it. But like, it's not to say that I don't want to get there. Like, if I get the opportunity, I love it. I love the role set. I love the production side of it. The opponents are tough fighters. But no, there is part of me, obviously, has got it. I didn't get that too because that was a big chance there. You know what I mean? That was like them in the UFC is the top 2 in the world. You've got PFL now coming through now, so that's like there's more opportunities coming through, which is good. But maybe, if I got there, things could have been different, bro. Like I said, trained me Martin Nguyen, he was the main man, and like, he was putting good words in for me and stuff too. But the same thing happened there, bro. I was one fight away, like so close, and then had that like just got caught again. And it's like every time I got to get to that next stage, so that's where I just I don't know if I just sort of got used to it at that point. And then that was like the final straw. I was just like, fuck, like every time I'm getting over this now.
Yeah, man. Actually, you mentioned Martin Nguyen. I met him over here in Macau. He came over and fought in a casino called Venetian Casino. He choked dead that Christian Lee one day. It was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
So I met him here, and then I've gone and watched him fight a couple of times. And he actually was going over to the Warrior Series with Fari back then. And I went over to Singapore. They didn't end up going, but I went over there and I went in and watched one of them. I don't know if you happened to be there or not. That was Kieran Joblin was fighting on that one. Did you go to any of the shows where he was on?
He was fighting the same shows as me, like. So me and Kieran was on 2 or 3 at the same time. The one,
might have been the same place, bro. We might have been at the same place. I went over just to watch, and there's like a little studio, right? It was like a studio TV type thing.
There's no music, no nothing. It's just walk out, red corner, blue corner, fight, and then you go. But like, I can't remember what one it was. That was our first one. We both fought on the same one, and the last one, and I'm not sure we fought one in between. But did he win that fight? Did he beat an American dude?
I can't remember back there, bro. It's just too many fights I don't remember, but I just remember he was fighting there. I talked to him, and you might even met you, bro. Who knows? It was a while back.
I mean, on the last one, like me and him, but I was basically like the one before. They don't have me and Coleman, but if they did, I'd have been Coleman and he'd have been me, and we were the last 2 fights. And the same thing, they thought, no, we both could have had a good chance of getting a contract offer, and we both got beat, and it was just like, fuck, bro, like. How are we doing this? Because we're in a pretty similar situation. We fought everybody, had good wins, had bad wins, and it's just like, how are we still here? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to Kieran's got a fight coming up. Looking forward to seeing that one.
I just seen it was announced there against Martinez, bro. That's a good fight. Very good fight.
Yeah, both good guys. Man, something I've written down, Irish background, man. Did you grow up like punching on a bit and stuff in your young life?
Do you know what, bro? I didn't really. I did more when we were out drinking and partying and stuff. But like growing up, I was in the gym since I was a kid. Like from 12 to 16, I was boxing, and then after that, I went straight into MMA at 16, and I was just straight in there. Like I got called the apprentice at the start because I was my coach's little apprentice, basically. Like, I got expelled from school, so I was the one literally sitting on top of my bag, waiting for him to open up the gym. And then I was last to leave because I was cleaning the mats and just talking to him about fights and back in the day and all that stuff. So I didn't really have to fight as much. And then my town's small and everybody knew me. And I got on with most people, bro, though. Like, yeah, it's a couple of people fell out with mates and you don't like people or whatever, but I never really had to fight too much, to be honest.
Yeah.
Didn't have to, because people knew I could more, so, you know what I mean? Where I'm from, like I said, they're all cowards, man. They'd rather smash your windows and burn your car than come and have a straightener.
Yeah, fair enough. Just asking, because you always see these videos of the Irish gypsies and that, giving each other shit and then fighting them.
I mean, I've got some of my good friends who are travellers, and like, I've seen that stuff, and I've seen how like their lifestyles and gone, like that's different, bro. Like that's like, now you're barking up a different tree there. Like whenever you're getting involved with them, because they're a different breed. But yeah, not too much from my side.
Fair enough, bro. Hey, bro, just while we're here, just want to know, what's your kind of daily routine for you, bro? Like, what's your average sort of day or average week? What do you train? How do you train?
Well, at the minute, I'm on like my last couple of weeks of a knee recovery from the last fight. I took, whenever I had the body triangle and I squeezed, I felt my knee pop, and it turned out I had 2 grade 2 tears in the back of the knee somewhere, and my LCL came off the bone. So at the minute, I've only been doing my strength and conditioning and rehab a couple of times a week, and then you there?
Yeah, bro, you got me?
Oh, sorry, you disappeared there. And then after that, no, I've only been cleared the box, but had a bad foot last week, so I'm only getting back in there. So at the minute, I'm just like, no, I've got a couple of classes in the morning and my PTs in the afternoon, some late at night. I'll come in and help the boys whenever with the wrestling short things and stuff. I'll do the timer and stuff, and then I'll just go to the beach, chill, walk a dog. It's pretty much me. I've got a pretty nice chilled life, to be honest.
Bro, did you hurt your knee in the body triangle, or you just noticed it in the triangle?
Oh yeah, so when I had it and I was about to squeeze, I just felt like popping my knee straight away, and then that's sort of like, and then I stopped squeezing the neck, and then I was like, fuck, I need to get this finished, and then that's whenever I was the beginning of the end for me then, because then that's when the head went and the concentration, and because I had a knee surgery prior a couple of years ago, I think like psychologically I was thinking about the what ifs if, and I felt a wee bit unstable more than it was sore, and then that's why the fight got stopped and the referee came to go, because the doctor came and checked it, because the referee seen me sort of hobbling on it, and he asked, you alright? And I said, yeah, of course. So then it was in my head was just get it finished rather than trying to be strategic. All I had to do was take him down and hold him. I could have easily beat him up for 3 rounds with one knee, but like that's not me. I was always hunting the finish, and then ended up getting myself in a position and got finished.
Yeah. Bro, in the time you've been training, like how's your training sort of evolved from what it was in the beginning to what it is now? Like what things have changed along the way and like to where you are?
Yeah, so like back then it was a lot more old school. I've been doing this for 14 years, and then 4 years box for that. So it's definitely evolved a lot. Back then it was a wee bit of like everything, where now it's one. Like you had the striking, grappling, jiu-jitsu, or wrestling and stuff, and then but now it's like you're striking into your grappling, into your jiu-jitsu, into strikes, into submissions. It's all like each one sets up each other. The levels definitely got higher. Like every year the kids are getting better and better, man. It's like it's scary again. It's like.
Yeah, for sure, bro. Hey, and you mentioned in your interview I was listening to that you trained in Ireland before. You also went to Italy and trained for a while in Australia. What's the differences, or where would you like to train if you had any choice, man?
You know what, bro? It's like, I don't know. Like everywhere's got their more unique, their own unique places. Do you know what I mean? It's more like, I think you'll find a good gym anywhere, but it's more like the outside, the lifestyle. No, like I say, like Thailand would be unbelievable because you got the beaches. I love the sunsets and all that peace stuff. Getting on the beach, going for a swim. So like anywhere that's got that, that's me. Like I've always wanted to go to Brazil because like that's where it all started. And I remember watching stuff years, and it's like, fuck, Brazil's where I want to go. We're gonna go, and I still would love to get there and train and stay for a little while. America, obviously. Like I say, I've been Lanzarote. I've been to Liverpool and fucking in Australia. I was trained in New Zealand actually. I was over in Queenstown staying for a month, but it was only the Muay Thai. So like I said, bro, it's just it depends more on the surroundings for me, because like I say, I find you'll find any top level training as long as you search for it, really.
Man, you mentioned Thailand. That Bang Tao gym's shaping up pretty well, right? Lots of nice fighters over there now.
Looking good, bro. It's fucking definitely. It's expected too. Like especially the level it's coming from there, and like again, it's a nice place, so people want to go there and train.
That's it, bro. Man, so what would you say is the ideal future for you, bro, in 2023 and then going forward? Like, what are you hoping to do, man?
I want to get, like I said, I want to get back to bantam. Maybe there's like Bellator and PFL and stuff starting to come to Dublin and Ireland again. Other promotions talking about Belfast, so like I wouldn't mind getting a couple of fights in Australia, a couple of fights back home, and then getting to one of them big promotions. Like PFL's my goal. Like that's where I want to go. No, I like the whole league system, fighting every couple of months and building the points and stuff. I like that. Like I feel it's very professional. It's what it should be about. They pay well, obviously too. The production's pretty good, and the fights are always pretty good too. So that's ideal. Like, get back. My thing now, I just need to get a few wins together. But I'm not going to be going searching for easy fights just to get wins. Like, I still want to fight good people. I just obviously have to drop a bit lower level than where I'm at because it's not working, and build myself back up. But at the same time, I'm not be going just picking winnable fights. I still want challenge. Like, at the end of the day, that's what I do it for more than anything, is to challenge myself. And if I can't beat the best locally, well, I can't be expected to be the best in the world. And I don't want to just be that fighter that gets in there and then has one or two fights and then gets out. You know what I mean? I want to make sure that I've secured my place and I deserve to be there.
Yeah, bro. Hey, you mentioned PFL. I can't remember the name. I saw one fella was about to fight in PFL from Central Coast MMA. Who was that guy, you know?
Sam Kai.
Sam, that's the guy.
The big heavyweight, Ross Pearson's guy.
Yeah, and I think I remember you saying you trained up there before too, right, with Jamie or something?
So I've been up and down over the last few years, sparring with Jamie and Ross and the boys, and they've came down a few times, and we've got a good relationship with them boys. Josh and Jamie's been best mate for years, so that helps.
Yeah, man, that's actually my neck of the woods, bro. I grew up there and went to the same school as Jamie and that, and I went back there recently for a trip and did some pads. Did some privates with. Anyway, bro. I'll cut that little bit out, but yeah, man. Thanks for your time, man. I wish you best of luck, bro. It sounds like you got a few things to work through to unleash the best part of yourself, bro. I hope you can find some peace and get there, bro, and perform and get where you want to go, bro.
I appreciate that, bro. Though, like I said, I do definitely feel like I've never shown the best me yet, and that's probably what is keeping me going. Because if I was going out there showing the me in the gym in the cage and I was getting beat, well, then I would definitely know it's time to go. But now that the dust has settled and I've licked my wounds and my tail's back out from between my legs and make a few changes, bro, and fucking give it another run, and that's all we can do. Like, I feel like this is my last chance, definitely. So we'll see what happens over in like September, October time. December is what I'm planning. So hopefully I can get some good fights there and get back on winning and see where we end up.
Awesome, bro. I look forward to watching you. Hopefully, I imagine it'll be on Eternal, most likely, right?
If it's in Australia, more than likely, unless they know Hex or somebody comes in as well. Like, again, I'm open for anything. Before I jumped the gun and signed the Eternal, which was obviously the best, so it was good for me too. But at the same time, now there's a lot of other organisations, and they're bringing good fighters over and opportunities, and that's what I want, bro. Like, I don't want to just be stuck somewhere. I want to be able to, like, if somebody offers me something that's good and suits me, that I can take it, and it's not offence to anyone. It's just genuinely I'm just doing me now. I don't owe anybody anything, so except for myself. So that's where we're at.
Cool. All right, man. Well, thanks for your time, bro. Glad to have caught you, and and we'll keep in touch, and I'll definitely be supporting you next Friday.
Appreciate it, mate. Thanks for your time, and I look forward to talking to you again.